AI, or as we in the know call them, large language models, are all the rage right now. We all know this. Every company of every type right now seems to be getting their toes right into the AI Slop generator, be it with services directly powered by it, like site-wide chatbots, or being utilised to generate business-specific marketing or advertising material in the form of images or God forbid videos. It's absolutely everywhere, but maybe, just maybe, this could prove to be a blessing in disguise for those of us who know how to take advantage of the inevitable downfalls this over-adoption of AI will lead to. Let me explain. As we know, AI is currently being forced into every nook and cranny possible. Even Notepad on Windows 11 has a Microsoft Copilot feature. Absolute heresy, if you ask me. But the main problem, I think, right now within the coding sphere is GitHub Copilot in VS Code. Plain and vanilla Visual Studio Code is the most widely used source code editor / sort of wannabe integrated development environment used today, both professionally and for personal work or projects. The inclusion of AI-generated assistants in the form of Copilot may make trivial programming much easier, as I'd imagine the devs of Copilot envisioned the use case of Copilot being. However, as we progress with the integration of LLMs into production code bases, which of course eventually make their way into real-world applications, we have found a whole host of problems and never-before-seen issues cropping up as a result. AI hallucinations are a very common and well-established phenomenon that come with the use of AI. When the model you're using, be it ChatGPT powered, Grok, or whatever else, just makes something up, but does so confidently it seems believable in the moment. That is an AI hallucination. This has led to very, very funky code that no sane human would come up with as a solution to their programming quest. Even with simple programs in Java, I've personally experienced Copilot, the one time I used it anyway, do some really strange stuff to accomplish what I thought to be a simple task that I wanted completing, in a simple manner. Simply. I found it tends to either not work or work just in a very roundabout way. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with getting something to work in a roundabout way. God knows programming at 3 in the morning often leads to such outcomes, but the overutilization and reliance on AI creates this system of sort of Minecraft enchanting table spaghetti code throughout vast swaths of whichever or whatever code base you're working on. This severely impacts the human readability aspects of the code, thus hindering debugging efforts, which lead to an increased amount of bugs, glitches, and of course, vulnerabilities. It's these problems created by the use of AI which we, being the sneaky sneakers we are, can take full advantage of in the near future. It's inevitable that AI-generated slop code will make its way into traditionally high security systems. Think banking systems, government agencies, payment processors, etc. You think there's a lot of stories about cyber criminals taking advantage of vulnerabilities now? Wait a year or two and I bet it's going to get multiple times worse. And the less technically inclined the business is, the worse I think they're going to be affected. It's going to be a digital reckoning of tectonic proportions. And whilst this presents a unique opportunity, I am not calling for us to become cyber criminals ourselves and start selling data from these businesses. Quite the opposite, actually. The job market for genuine human software engineers, cyber analysts, and general programmers is going to grow in response to these slop generators being increasingly employed by businesses to save costs in the short term. These new jobs, I believe, are going to be auditors, pen testers, and the likes. They won't necessarily be writing the code base from scratch like in times gone by, but reviewing and perhaps rewriting code written by AI much more extensively than what is currently thought sufficient. However, this brings up another issue that we are experiencing more and more, and that's the use of LLMs within schools and universities, which will lead to a decline in the quality of work amongst graduates. And as a computer science student myself, I know firsthand how much these large language models are being abused and how easy it is to do so and get away with it. No, I'm not recommending everyone go and use, ChatGPT to complete their homework for them because they can get away with it. One, because you won't learn anything, and there's no point being at a university if you're just going to use AI. And two, because universities across the US and UK alike have now clamped down on obviously AI generated answers and, if caught, given the same penalty as if it was plagiarism. But AI is getting a whole lot smarter relatively quickly, and students have all the time in the world to figure out how to employ these LLMs without it looking too obvious. Using them in an assistance kind of way to explain questions or concepts in a more dumbed down way can be useful and enforce learning patterns. However, when we then encounter some of the same issues previously discussed when we were talking about employing these same AI models within the software engineering workplace, and that's, AI hallucinations, general slop answers, and sometimes just incorrect answers, you can see where the issues start to crop up. Those same things will be transplanted into the educational space. For example, think of the confident answer the old version or versions of Gemini gave when a user was asking about cheese on pizza. I mean, that was funny, but if it was the same kind of ridiculous answer about something within, say, graph theory, would most people be so alert to the silly answer? But, ignoring the sloppy answers AI gives for just a second, we are soon going to have an extensive amount of university graduates who may or may not, but probably have, utilised AI throughout their entire 3, 4 or even 5-year long degree course. This is more bad than good. Instead of learning about the ins and outs of, object-oriented programming, getting into the darkest depths of the whys and hows, the moment one gets stuck or has trouble wrapping their head around a specific subtopic, it's so tempting to just paste the question, or whatever it may be, into an AI model and just have it answer it and move on. If we take a quick look into the legacy media, we can see what's going to be in store for us for the next good while when it comes to vulnerabilities. Just recently, as an example, 2 of the largest retail businesses in the UK have had their IT systems compromised, with both user and employee information being stolen as a part of it, with one of the affected businesses deciding to employ scorched earth tactics and prevent anyone from accessing their database, even themselves. Now, how much of this was down to poorly written or AI generated code is obviously unknown, but can we really discount that it may have affected the security of their respective networks? Even if it played little or no role in the vulnerabilities being present, it's a growing risk factor that cybercriminals are undoubtedly going to exploit. And, just as an aside, as I've been writing the script for this video, Google announced their new innovation within the AI space with the release of VO3, which is able to, as so far at least, generate a video with audio for a maximum of 8 seconds. We all know this was going to become prevalent at some point, but this has just introduced some major questions for anything we see online. Are we going to have to learn what makes a video AI as opposed to a video that is genuinely real? I mean, you and me right now can probably deduce a video from being real to AI, but think of those Facebook boomers. What are they going to do? Or is the solution some sort of digital tagging for what's real and what's generated? If so, what kind of guidelines would make up such a standard? How in the world would something like that be realistically implemented? All of these questions, so few answers. I'll make a video discussing the topic more in depth at a later point. But anyhow, that's just my 2 cents on the current AI sloppy slop situation. Maybe I've read a little too much in between the lines this time, but maybe not. I'll leave that for you to decide. Like the video if you enjoyed it or found it entertaining. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my Odyssey channel, Commonwealth Snow, link in the description and in the about section on my channel page. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a very good day.